How did you become interested in journalism, and can you tell me about your first experience in the field?
I would say probably going back to my days as a high school student. Had a sort of an interest in broadcasting. Always enjoyed listening to the radio at that time, and initially was interested in perhaps a career in sports broadcasting. I like sports, I played some sports. But as I progressed through high school and into college, my interest sort of turned to current events and news, and I gravitated more toward news. I remember 1963, November of 1963, I was a freshman at Emerson College. And of course, that was the year that John Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. And I remember as a freshman, interested in broadcasting and reporting, how we, on that day, as soon as we heard the news, not only broadcasted it on our radio station, but published a special edition of our Berkeley Beacon, which is our college newspaper, and everyone who was available just grabbed stacks of the newspaper, ran out onto Beacon Street, and just started handing them out to people and cars that were stopped and so forth and so on. So that stuck in my mind, that terrible tragedy, back in 1963. And then I worked part-time at a couple of radio stations, including one in Worcester. During my college days, I worked for the college radio and TV station, WERS TV and radio, WECB radio in Boston. And eventually, when I graduated, I got my first job at WHYN television and radio in Springfield. That was back in April of 1968. And back then, HYN radio was a radio and TV operation, so we had the best of both worlds. It was radio and TV, but my first job was on the radio doing backup morning drive to the great Ron Russell. And Durham Caldwell was the news director at the time, who gave me that opportunity, gave me my first job. So it did start in radio on the air before I transitioned over into television a couple of years later.